Hey everyone, it's Rick. How you doing? Today I'm gonna do a painting with basic acrylics. Okay, a landscape. I'm thinking maybe if there's a lot of beginners out there, and when beginners are gonna buy you know this type of paint when they first gets going, and I'm gonna show you why. Uh, Maybe you're thinking, hey, my paintings aren't coming out like his, because this is the level one paint. Uh, we're going to try and do a landscape with that paint. I got yellow. I didn't have any burnt umber, but I got raw sienna, phthalo blue, and cerulean blue. And I found some hooker green from Academy. It's similar to the basic acrylics, but I'm using good white. I'm using Artist Loft high viscosity white because I didn't have basic acrylic white. But what I did, I mixed some of these two together, uh, the phthalo blue and the raw sienna, and I got this cool green color. What I was looking for was a gray color, but I got this cool dark color there. You see that? I'm thinking about putting a little black in it like I do uh, with my sap green. I'm going to try it. So I have put a little black in there. I'm going to mix it up and have a dark green to lay out all my bushes and treetops. But I already did that with the hooker green. Kind of see a difference between these two, but they're still dark, so I'm going to lay it out real quick. I got water here, and I got a mixture of different types of brushes. Got acrylic brushes, this oil brush, bristle brushes. These are acrylic brushes, and I'm just going to lay it out real quick, and we're going to try and do an easy scene in those basic acrylics, okay? So I'm going to have a pretty cool mountain here, pretty big mountain here, okay? And then we'll have maybe some trees coming from way back here to here, so I can do an easy painting just to show you the color difference with those colors and the acrylics I use. It's the next level up, level 2 and 3. I have some ground here. This will be water here, and I'll have a try and do a big evergreen tree. I'm going to try and do a dead evergreen tree too as well, and some sky up there. I'm not going to do any underpaint. Uh, the color I lay down will be the other underpaint. I'm going to use a 1-inch bristle brush so I can lay a lot of paint up there. I'm going to start with gray. I mixed just black and white and got this gray color. I have a feeling the sky is going to come out pretty decent because, I mean, the colors gray and blue. Maybe this blue will be a little different, but let's see what happens. I'm just going to mix the sky up with some color right now and then try and blend it in. Just do this with your basic colors. I'll grab some white. Now I dip into the water a little bit and grab some white and pick up some of this blue up here. Get some more white and kind of drag that white down so our horizon gets lighter. Let's get some more white here. Have a light horizon. All this white will end up looking like clouds when I'm done blending it. Let's put a little bit of white up in here. All right, now I'm going to get a mop brush and I'm going to blend my blue in first so I don't contaminate it with white. All right, now I'm going to wipe my brush off and start blending my lighter colors around the blue. If you go back into the blue right now, you'll contaminate it with white and you'll lose that brilliant color, so be careful. So that's why I did the blue first, and I'm staying away from it right now. All right, there's our sky. I'll lay some more clouds up there. I'm going to go fast on this one. Let's lay a mountain in there. I'll use my fan brush. I'm going to use that gray color that I made. Just a mix. Actually, it was Payne's gray. I mixed a little white in the Payne's gray. All right, I'm just doing a simple mountain. Just gonna make it all gray. We'll call this the underpaint here. You can use a different brush if you want. I'm gonna grab a little white now and do what I did on the sky and lighten up the bottom of my mountain here. So the bottom of the mountain is lighter. I'm almost using some oil techniques here with the blending. You want to blend this before it gets dry, just the bottom part. I didn't bring it down far enough, so I'm going to add a little more water to my brush and get a little more white and bring it down further. Very good. It's looking good. I try and blend a little at the top here. All right, there we go. Blend it in. Doesn't look too bad right now. Let's do our water next. Use that same brush. I'm going to use the same brush I laid the sky in. What I'm going to do is grab some gray. Keep my brush horizontal. And I'm going to start mixing some blue in there. A bluish gray color. Try and get bluer as I come forward. Trying to lay the water in with the horizontal brush stroke so it looks like water. I'm going to put a little white on my brush and blend it into the back of the water here to lighten it up. So it looks further back in the distance. Very good. It looks pretty good, actually. Maybe this will come out okay with that cheap paint, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to do the trees now and then lay this foreground in. I'm going to use this brush. I'm going to use that green I made with the, I mixed the two colors, raw sienna and the phthalo blue. Okay, and what I'm going to do is actually try and make some bushes down here with this brush. I like these brushes. Look at if you push it in, you can get some nice looking bush tops there. Okay, I'm going to push this color in. Now this is a test. This is like the cheapest paint that you can buy, okay? But I'm going to pull a little ground underneath these bushes and grab a little white to lighten it up so you can see the bottom of the bushes there. See, you can dig into the bushes a little, and then you get this offset, so it's not just straight. Okay, see how cool that looks? Let me see if it's showing up. Yep, it's showing up. So I just lightened up the bottom so you can see it. Those look pretty good, actually. I'm like going, well, maybe this paint will work, you know, cheap paint. I'm actually going to highlight these bushes now. What I did, I just wet the brush with a little water and grabbed a little bit of white because I can see some highlight spots in here. And I want to show you how you can highlight these bushes while it's wet. And this white will soak in to the green. So I just separated, thinking where the light's going to hit. This white now it'll soak in and then turn green. Okay, let's do these trees across the back. I'm going to use a fan brush for that, my #2 fan brush. It's an oil brush, but you can use oil brushes with acrylic. You just can't use acrylic brushes with oil because the oil paint's too heavy. Let's run these trees from way over here, because I'm going to have a tree here, so I'm not going to go out here. These are going to be tree tops here. I want them to come up that mountain just a little bit. I'm stamping in the top of the trees. Now before this dries, I want to pull up on that paint before it dries. Okay, so what I'm going to do is wipe my brush off with a paper towel and come in here with the corner of the brush and pull up on that in the back before it dries. Use the corner. See, it's already drying, so you got to go fast. And you don't have to pull it as much over here. These are going to be smaller. Very good. Now let's fill this in, and you'll see how these are going to be bigger trees here and getting smaller as it runs back. Okay. I'm just stamping this in to get some texture. You can also use any brush to do this, but I just like using the fan brush. Alright, so the other thing, if this was oil, I'm going to pull the bottom of this straight over here to get some land in front of those trees back there. If this was oil, you could come in here and pull the bottom of the paint out, but it's not. See, it doesn't pull out uh, that good. So what I'm going to do, I want that to be a different color. I'm going to put a little titanium white on my brush first. Little titanium white, and I'm going to pull into the trees just a little and grab a little paint and pull it out with the white. I'm going to create like a beach down here and offset some of the area so it doesn't look straight. Keep it horizontal. Just pull this one out a little more here because it's in the front. I'll probably bring this beach all the way down, I think. I'm going to put some brown on there. That look cool? Now with put a little water on your fan brush, the number 2, and what this is going to end up being over here is treetops, so you can put some indications of evergreen trees over here. Okay. I'm actually using the only paint that I'm using right now that's not the Basics Liquitech basic acrylic is the titanium white. So far it's looking all right, but is it going to look like an oil painting when I'm done? Not sure. All right, so that's, I'm not going to put them all in, but eventually I'm going to run some more down here, uh, all the way. Okay, so now with this ground here, I'm going to try some of that raw sienna. I wish I had some burnt umber, but let's try putting raw sienna down here. Might want to let it dry first, but let's just test it. This will end up looking like a beach, but I want to kind of let it mix with the color that's there first and let it soak in. Then I'll probably hit it again up here. I'll leave it lighter back here in the distance, but let's see what happens to that after a while. It's probably going to soak into that green, but it's looking pretty good right now. Let's put some snow on the mountain now. Let's see if I can use this big filbert brush. I think it's a 4 or 6. So I'm just going to grab white. Just white on my brush and pull some white down. Try and swipe it down first once with like a knife. Pretend this is a knife and you're just swiping it down, okay? And because if you go over it, it'll dull out like right there. I want to shape this mountain a little more. bring it this way. There we go. That's enough snow. I'm going to mix some of the cerulean blue and white. Dip into my water a little bit, wet my brush, and I'm going to pull this to the left now, just like it was a knife, and get a different color on the other side of the mountain there. Just pull it like a knife. Everywhere you have white, come up here and put some of this blue color next to it. Right next to your white. Very good. I don't know what to say, man. I'm using the cheapest paint that you can buy. I'm going to try and blend the white and the blue together now with this brush right on the edge and just kind of blend them in together. All right, well, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to get my fan brush now, clean it off really good. The number 2 fan brush. I'm going to get some white on it, and I'm going to line the back of this shore back here with some white. I'm going to stamp it in so it stays bright for a while. It might soak in. All right, now I'm going to pull a little bit of water from the shore here by keeping my brush horizontal and just pulling from the shore to make some water crashing in to the beach there. Okay, just keep your brush horizontal. Get smaller back here. Just like that. You can do another row of the water coming from here behind, getting ready to come in on the next wave, okay? And then a smaller one back here. Just giving you some ideas. So it looks like water coming in. I don't know, man. This is actually looking pretty good. I didn't think it was going to turn out like this, honestly. I mean, this is I'm telling you, this is the cheapest paint you can buy. Let me see what happens when I put a tree in here, right on the edge. I have to hold my easel. I come down fast so the branches look natural. Get wider down here. Press in. When you come down here, press in so the brush opens up on you. I really don't know what to say. I mean, because I think this looks pretty good even with that cheap paint. Man, I'm really, really surprised. Uh, I'm going to put a small tree here. I don't want to cover the mountain, but I do want to have another small tree, maybe just underneath it here. I didn't want to cover those water waves either, but I did. But these will be good enough, the ones in front. I have one more tree in here. And that's about it. I'm going to highlight these now. Rinse your brush in water, the number 2, and grab some titanium white on it. Or you can use a light blue. I'm going to use white and try and hit just the top part of these branches with the white. Actually push it in there, because what it's going to do, it's going to soak in the paint because it's still wet. Just push into the branches just to highlight those trees. I'm going to re-highlight these bushes down here. It's looking pretty good. I really like it. There's other, you could put, watch, I'll try and make some different type of bushes down here with this brush if I can. Different lighter bushes there. If you don't like that, just paint over it. That's looking pretty good for cheap paint. I want to darken this up here, so I don't have any dark paint out. So I'm going to use the blue, a little blue, to just darken some of it up. And I'm going to hope it soaks into it. All right, good. All right, guys, let's do some clouds, and then I'm going to end this one. The clouds are going to really bring this thing together. Let's start with some small clouds around the mountain here. Sounds like a drum. Put a few small clouds down in here. You could do your clouds any way you want. I'm going to try and put a cloud in the corner here, like I like to do. Maybe not as big. And stamp it back so it gets a little lighter. I'm going to put a little, I'm going to get all the clouds done, then I'm going to put shadows on them, okay? Very good. Just pretty much stamping the clouds in. Alright, I'm going to wipe my brush off, dip in the water, wet the brush a little, and kind of stamp out the lower part of these clouds a little more. Try and blend the bottoms of some of them. Acrylic clouds, you can just keep working on them, you know. I'm going to grab this color blue and put it underneath here now, okay? Just a light blue, and put it on the bottom of this cloud here. It should end up looking like shadow, okay? Same thing here on this one, just across the bottom. I'm trying to go fast now. I'll put some shadows on all of these here. Let me get my blender brush now while they're still kind of wet. Get some kind of blend on them if you can. You don't have to. Kind of look good. I like a nice bright sky. I like that. Something different. Alright guys, I don't know what to say. I mean, it looks pretty good. I'm standing away from it. I thought it was going to come out pretty bad. So I'm going to do now is get my fan brush and wet it and put some white on it, and so the light's coming in here. You see it on the mountains? So I'm going to bring some light down some of these trees here, okay, with my fan brush. I have too much on there. You don't need much white, okay? You can turn your brush now to the side and stamp that white into the green just to lighten it up, okay? You don't want to leave like a white streak in there. You want it to mix in to the paint. Okay, that looks a little better. See how it mixed into it? But just to get a little light, different color on these trees here, okay? All right, it's looking pretty good. I really like it. It really looks better than I thought it was. I'm going to darken up some of the front of this now. Leave this light back here and have the color get brighter as it comes forward to the foreground. back here, I'm actually going to put a little gray in it as it gets further back. All right, guys, that's about all I'm going to do, believe it or not. See if I can I put a little black out and maybe put some twigs in there. I'll try. See if I can, I wanted to put a dead tree in here, but maybe on the next one. See if I can get my liner brush to work right. Yeah. I didn't clean it the other day too good, so it kind of got hard on me. Put some twigs in there. Some branches around your trees. You could make these bushes any color you want. I just used white, you know. It's looking pretty good for regular paint. Some birds. You don't have to use black for the birds. You can use white as well. Let me get some white and try it. Because the white, if you put it on it like the darker color, it might look like a seagull coming in. Because they got white. They got white wings. Wow. I don't know what to say. Let me give you a front shot. But that was just regular basic paint, basic acrylic. I don't know. You let me know what you think. I just kind of blew through that pretty quick. But all right, guys. We'll see you on the next video. Cheers.